Good evening, everyone. It is 9 p.m. here in Tokyo on March 15th, 2024. Welcome to Pocky Tanks for Your Entertainment, episode 45, Post-msq, Endwalker. No real clever titles for this, because there's just going to be too many with the same title otherwise. Hope everyone's doing well. Last week when we ended, I was talking about how I wanted to start doing the role quests. I still have to do the DPS, melee DPS, and the magic DPS, or rather the physical DPS and the magic DPS role quests in Shadowbringer still. But unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to play much this week, and so Machinist and Red Mage are still 77 and 75. I could theoretically just do some dungeons today, but I know we've got what? 3 to 4 months until Dawntrail, probably. We still have a date, and I want to make sure that we get through the. I don't want to be doing these quests when the expansion comes out, but I also know that some folks have mentioned that I do want to have the role quests done by a certain point. I'm not sure when, but hopefully sooner than later. So I don't know. We'll see. Let's see here, Machinist, Red Mage. I don't know, we'll see. Let me check something, actually. See here. All right. Oh, so I must have escaped by accident. Ha! I mean, I thought I was going to be able to level up these quests very quickly. Like, let's see here. Machinist needs 4.3 million. I'm not going to get in that in a single dungeon. Even with the, Actually, can I still wear that, or... To the level 25. Wrong one. Earrings. To level 80 or below. Alright. So... Still more. What do we have for duties right now? Tank, 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 heal, heal. Right. Isn't there a thing that, like, I'm supposed to get some kind of bonus roll trait extras? Neat, okay. Look this up. Here we go. Here we go. Armory bonus. The armory bonus is applied to your XP gained by common classes when below the level of your highest class. It's 100% for levels 1 to 79. Okay, that's fine. This bonus only applies to defeating enemies and fate rewards. Ah. Does not affect dungeons. Alright. Okay. Alright, well... I know get my mouse to work now. My keyboard and my mouse are not wanting to cooperate right now. That's really annoying. There we go. Oh, I have no. I haven't really run a dungeon to just run a dungeon in a while. I think I'll just do that really fast. Well, really fast, quote unquote. But let's start with this off. Oops. And no napping this time. I only need a moment. You'll see. A little more room in the shoulders. Open up the cuffs. A final adjustment to the hem. All done. Let's see how it looks on the mannequin. Well, what do you think? Doesn't it just scream, ready for a bold new adventure? That is actually kind of cool. Pachi, 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 pachi. I'm so glad you approve. You've outdone yourself, Tataru. Thank you. Oh, stop. You'll make me blush. If you really want to thank me, though, all I ask is that you wear this on your travels. Alright. Time to go back to the, inn room. Or at least anywhere lots of adventurers gather. Well, look at you. A famous hero, and wonder, wherever did she purchase those stylish yet practical garments? And before you know it, hordes of new customers will be climbing over each other to place orders at Tataru's boutique. I guess. Wahaha! I can hear it now, the very clink clink of gill overflowing from my coffers. Sweet music to my ears. Oh Lord. Doom.
We should at his house. I thought you said they'd have good ideas.
Ahem.
No.
Burgeoning merchant empires aside, you must be excited to start a fresh new chapter of your life. New places to go, new people to meet. I often wonder how you remember all your experiences and exploits. New places to go, new people to meet. I often wonder how you remember all your experiences and exploits without taking at least a few notes. Oh, maybe you should start just doing that. You'll never know when some odd past detail might become relevant. God, I forgot. She doesn't talk that fast. You never know when some odd past detail might become relevant. Or if one day you'll take a blow to the head and forget the better part of the last decade.
Jesus.
Or if one day you'll take a blow to the head and forget the better I can't even say that out loud. It's just too funny. just here, have some amnesia. Or if one day you'll take a blow to the head and forget the better part of the past decade. Something to keep in mind, in any case. A crescents. And yeah, no, Tataru, what do you... Collection expanded. The Unending Codex. Oh, neat. Oh, Lord. I'm going to have to read this later, because this is a lot. The Science of the Seventh Dawn, and the Final Days. And that's the only 3 entries we have so far. The Unending Codex is now available under Collection in the Duty section of the main menu. New entries for prominent terms and characters will be added to the Codex as you progress through the main scenario quests. Cool. Bountiful Ruins. As the former receptionist and sometimes intelligence gatherer of the Scions, allow me to offer you a word of advice. Do not expect juicy rumors to simply fall into your lap. Adventurers rely on gossip, and the best places to pick up information are taverns and markets. Excuse me. At present, you only have a broad destination in mind. When you arrive in Thavnair, I suggest you explore your options at Merid's Mayhain, the finest drinking establishment in Radzatan. Charm the employees, and not only point you in the direction of the local tale tellers, but also share with you the tricks of loosening their tongues. Now, I really must be getting back to running my boutique. Enjoy the journey, Celesta, and may fair fortune find you. Alright, so we're going to do 2 things. One, let's go hit the inn so I can toss these clothes into the chest and make a quick outfit for my paladin set. Two, I found Ishtola last week. I do want to go find the others before I go start on the quests and stuff to talk to them. I know a couple of them are Radzatan, but I don't remember where the others are off the top of my head, so... Now, one thing I'm going to do here, actually, is as much as I like these earrings, kind of like having the one earring look, but I don't know. And that. All right, we have more slots now. I forgot about that. All right, there's with the winter outfit. We'll use number 13 here. Sort of around. There we go. Around. Oops, not. Cute. There we go. Where is the new... It's in here somewhere. I mean, the outfit she just gave me should... Oh, there it is. Wayfarer's Tavern, yeah. Oh. There are no pants. Okay. Then Wayfarer's necklace. One, two, three, four. Wayfarer's. Oh, gloves. That was it. All right. All right. Change set name. Tato Paladin. Link to Glamour Plate. 13. We'll rock this look for a little while, sure. Oh, that's funny. Interesting. Didn't realize that because I don't have a leg slot, it just keeps the appearance I have. Interesting. Huh. And morning, Cryptomancer. Alright, so I'm technically wearing the skirt underneath my skirt. That's funny.
Chris, you want to split that donut?
Hey.
Alright, so...
Hi everyone!
Hi, Chris. I only found Ishtola so far, and it's been a week, so I've forgotten... I know somewhere in Ratatan.
Wait, what? Everyone?
Okay.
What happened to everyone?
We officially disbanded because we saved the world. Careful, honey, you okay?
Yep.
Any donut left, or...?
Yes.
Okay. Uncle Kristen says hi, Chris.
Hi.
I do want to go searching for the others, I just don't remember where they are. Other than Ishtola. So, if you can remind me where to go, Cryptomancer, I will totally actually do that first, before we do anything else, after I have my dessert, apparently. Thank you, honey. Pardon me a second, folks.
On his way home, we got donut.
Thank you, sweetie. Mwah.
Really delicious donut.
They actually really are very good. I mean, Krispy Kreme's pretty reliable, but these are
They were fresh.
having a top-notch day today.
Ah, we were fresh so unusual. You're really fresh.
Yeah, fresh is kind of Krispy Kreme's thing.
That's true.
Chris, night meds.
Well, let's just do the main group. Let's see, Thancred. I'll save for last, I think. Because he's in Radisson, that's where we're going last anyways. I think some of them are in... what's it? Old Charlian, so let's try there first. I still need to do this quest eventually. Cutting the cheese. I see. I like sporty dude behind me running around. Before I forget, I should turn in these quests really fast too.
It's supposed to get real warm this weekend,
I see.
by the way.
I'm not gonna bother reading this, just gonna get the thing done. Wait, I have no classes at 89. I'll hold on to that for now then. Actually, I shouldn't. Alright. Well, let's see here. I believe Kururu was going to the library along with Graha. I mean, honestly, I either spend this entire time looking, or someone tells me where the hell to go, because I have no idea, honestly, where they are. so. I would appreciate it. The crystal from beyond. Nope, not here. Key Alapio. We'll also have the quest for me. What the heck? Is it a crafting quest? Yep. Well, we'll be doing that one for a while. Considering I'm level 20 something on most of my crafting jobs. Alright, so the annex. Wrong way, Richard. There we go. The Ragnarok, okay, they're in the Ragnarok downstairs, as it were. I might need to get a new mouse, jeez. There they are. Hello. Celessa, I didn't know you were in Charlian. You'll be staying a while, I hope? Lest you wonder, we've yet to receive a commission of note, and it has been terribly exciting. The past few days have been mind-numbingly dull, in fact. Kudu has me sorting endless stacks of tomes. I'm still working through them at the moment, but perhaps later we can go have a meal together? I should like to hear about your recent adventures. And of course I'd be more than amenable to embarking on one together. Get me out of here! I did finish the Dome reconstruction, thankfully, so... we'll see about the rest of them, but... Oh, Celessa, how good of you to visit! As you can see, there's little change with us. Just pushing steadily along with our work. A typical day involves tending to our commissions, sorting research materials, and liaising with the collaborators. It doesn't sound like much, but it keeps the few of us here busy. And few as we are, we've been able to keep your chamber as it is. If ever you need a place to rest your weary head, you're welcome to use it. Ochika, for one, would be pleased. Yay! Alright. That's 3. Let's go to Razhan then. I guess we'll go talk to Estinian last. Tertium. Tertium, where was that? extra. I don't know why I'm doing that. Yeah, I was gonna say against Garlemald, so Elzabar, Norvand. There, Garlemald, Tertium. You know, I think today, now that we're past the, oh hey, right there, in fact. Hey, Julius. I didn't expect to see the twins in Garlemald again. Like you, they risked life and limb to save the world. And some would say they've earned a lifetime of peace and quiet. Yet here they are. When they said they wished to help us, they truly meant it. And if even outsiders haven't given up on us, then how can we possibly give up on ourselves? The road to recovery will be long and hard, but we'll spare no effort. We'll rebuild Garlemald into a nation that we all can be proud of. For those who are still here as well as those who couldn't be. But, as I was saying, unlike the past couple weeks, I don't think I'll probably play past midnight, too much past midnight, because I don't imagine the next few of this chain will be super emotional, at least at the beginning. Who knows later on. Celesta, guess what? Just the other day, I tended to a beast terrorized in the station area, and afterwards a family came and thanked me. And on another occasion, soldiers of the First Legion taught me about the medicine they use. It's like anything I've seen in Eorzea. It's not all uplifting tales, of course, but every day I'm afforded the opportunity to grow. If only it weren't so cold all the time. Celesta, you came. Words cannot express how glad I am to see you. We've just begun our work here with the contingent and local volunteers. Our foremost priority is establishing a number of survivors and distributing vital supplies. As we continue our efforts, we will ensure that everything is done in consultation with the Garlean people. This is their nation, after all, and theirs must be the hands that steer its course. Okay, that's 2. Okay, let's go back to... Oh, we're going to Thalmazane now, alright, so... Do-do-do, do-do-do... Do-do-do... A little bit further, do-do-do... I thought it's on, actually. So... Someone turned it on. I think you did last night, actually, because it's on. Yeah, no, it wasn't me. I haven't logged in since last week until today, so...
You have to go to your house.
Yeah, I'll be going there tonight before I log out. Wait, a quest down there? Oh, an Ultima... Wait, what? A heartless hypothesis? The heck? Ah, okay. That's why. Alright. Well... Yeah, I think so. I'll wait for her to be back on before I start doing it then. I mean, it's not like I need the XP at this point, so... For this character, at least. We. I'm gonna imagine that it involves. Well, there they are there. I imagine it involves Thancred somehow. Speaking of which, there they are, and living away too. It is very cool looking, admittedly. If it isn't Celesta, how have you been feeling? No dizziness or nausea or some ailment or other after the journey? In particular, if you're having hallucinations, it may mean that an alien life form is taking over your brain, and invasive surgery will be required to remove it. That was a jest. Did you like it? Uriah just said it's useful for building rapport with you people. Anyway, you may have heard that I'll be staying on Aetheris for a while. We're exploring all sorts of ways to make use of the moon, which means we're going to need to establish regular flights there and back. Well, well, I know not what errand bringeth thee hither, but thine is ever a welcome presence. There being no inherent urgency to begin our wanderings, Thancred and I did decide to first see how fareth the discussions between the Form and the Loperids, and, should it be necessary, lend our aid. In exploring the uses of the moon and ventures beyond the star, soon or late, other parties will inevitably seek to be involved. We must needs ensure that the tendrils of dark design are not permitted to wend their way into this endeavor. Ah, fancy meeting you here. Come to look in on the starship, have you? I must say, it already feels like an age ago that we enhanced the vessel's aether burner, and then rode it forth unto the great unknown. Sometimes, I find myself gazing up at the starry sky, wondering if it was all just a dream. Once behind you, even the grandest adventures become but a memory. Alright, and the last person is going to be Estinian and Ratzahan. And then actually, you know what? Hold on. Don't I have a quest for... No. There it is. Sinking Sanctuary. Morby Dry Docks. I'm an island. I should at least go see it and unlock it really fast. I'm not going to do much with it. I'll probably do that kind of stuff offline as well, but... Welcome to Fantasy Island. Ahoy there, lass! You must be the little mistress's friend. Been fixed up with your own island, eh? Said she'd be along shortly herself, but... Ah, speak of the devil. Oh no, it's Summer Tataru. She's adorable. The straw hat is killing me. Celesta, I thought I'd dress light for our voyage, given the notorious humidity of the Southern Isles. Now it's time for my swimsuit. I trust everything is in order, Balden? Aye. Just give me an order. Just give me an order when you're ready to set sail. You've nothing to fear where we're going. Not since any marauder with it on his senses and hung up their axe. This old island sanctuary business came about from the Admiral reckoning we need something to do now. Piracy's off the table, matter of fact. Just look at me, a bloody stand-up citizen ferrying folks around. Any road. You're packed rather light for an adventure of this sort. You do realize you're responsible for bringing your own tools and supplies. Not to worry. We'll procure everything there. You what now? How the hell did you plan to do that? Oh, I have a little something in mind. Let's just say the idea was good enough to land us a permit. Is that so? Well, better luck to you both. I'm sure you're just itching to see your new domain, so I'll fill you in on juicy details once we arrive. Make your preparations. We leave port the moment you give the word. I'll be waiting for you on the ferry. Alright. And now that I've got that, okay, so I get. I'm gonna imagine the. I'm gonna imagine that the island, if I get there, starts off a really long tutorial. So let's not do that. We'll do that later. Now, off the road to Han, talk to Estinian and do the next part of the MSQ. It's involved, right? All right. Part of me wonders what's going to happen when they run out of other world cultures to base the new groups and such off of. Like, Dawn Trail, now that I've seen the trailer, looks like South America. Very, very much like South America. Estinian, where are you, my buddy? Hi, my little. Oh, he's not here. I wonder if he gets shunted off because of the. Was he there? Did I just not see him? Am I blind right now? Yeah, I did, so... Darn. Well... Okay. Well, let's get this quest going then. Hi, Malia. How are you? Welcome to Medri's Mahil. Oh, hello. I did not recognize you at first. Are you here alone? Let me find you a table. Ruins beneath the bounty? Would you be speaking of the sunken treasure vault? We have one regular, a historian in fact, who could tell you all about it. Every bar seems to have the plunk 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 music. Oh, there he is, Professor Jalheen. I thought I saw him come in. Although a somewhat private sort, the professor is quick to befriend those who share his fondness for the Maine's unique beverages. Offer him any drink from our selection, and he should be happily share everything he knows about the vault you seek. And a few other odd bits besides. Whatever you buy from him is on the house, by the way. If Marie found I took coin from Thavenir's savior, she would have me scrubbing pots for a week. Yes. The following event cannot be skipped. Well then, you merely should cancel any pending duty fund registrations. You know, I'm glad they started putting that message in, because I did actually have, at one point, I was leveling something, and I did a quest that it had the unskippable thing, and I'm just like, alright, well, I'll just click as fast as I can, and I was reading as fast as I can, and it popped up like, no! No! Go, 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 go! And nope. And I got penalized for that day. So... And what may I do for you, my Eorzean friend? Oh, just a friendly chat. How about a drink? I like that she's like she's ready to like, okay, I'm ready to take the order. Well, I wouldn't certainly say no to a drink freely offered. 5 drinks later. Here we are, one of Maride's finest. Enjoy. Ah, lovely. Bottoms up. Oh, they provide the sounds. Nice. Jalheen empties the cup in a single pull. Oh, wow. Okay. That was very kind of you, miss, but I know when I'm being softened up. What is it you want from me? Oh ho, chasing down that old tale, are you? It does seem to appeal to the adventurers at heart. Now, where to begin? Might I assume you've heard of Alzadal? He was Khan of the Ari tribe which sailed to Thavnir from the mainland, and a key figure in the history of Radzatan. His decision to aid the Arkasodaro is what ultimately won them the war against the Gajasura, thus allowing our predecessors to lay the foundation for this thriving city-state. The truly fascinating stories, however, concern his grandson, Alzadal III, who was known for his deeds as satrap in Radzahan's earlier days. No, no, no.
No!
Someone says that this man traveled to another world entirely, and returned with glittering riches. Others that he brokered an alliance with a certain worm of the first brood. Then there's the tale of the sunken vault, the one you seem most curious about. According to this legend, Alzadal III claimed a small island somewhere in the middle of the bounty. There he built a structure reaching clear to the bottom of the sea, a deep and secret storehouse, and locked all his worldly wealth within. In the centuries since, whenever a natural disaster or hardship befell Radzatan, folk would remember that tale of hidden treasure. Hardy souls would set out to claim their fortune, but precious few ever made it home. Would you like to hear more? Sorry, I have a slight tickle in... Oh, my cup seems to be empty. Another round for the professor. Ah, I see we've reached an understanding. You're a sharp one, adventurer. You're a sharp one, adventurer. Another for the professor. Ho 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 ho! Today was a splendid day to visit Mahane. He really is knocking him back fast, Jesus. Jalheen gulps down his newest drink of gusto. Where were we? Yes. Those who did return from seeking the treasure vault refused, and I mean flatly refused, to speak of what they saw. Did this discourage others? Nay. Quite the opposite. Such accounts only served to feed the legend, and the golden lure grew stronger than ever before. That reminds me of something Alhazama was saying. Alhazama's a fellow connoisseur of spirituous potables. Yes, he is. Anyway, he was saying that one of his acquaintances went after the treasure himself. Hasn't been seen since he set sail, I hear. But he did have... no. I can say no more. You seem a generous sort. What kind of man would I be to encourage what is clearly a foolhardy... What kind of man would I be to encourage what is clearly a foolhardy quest? If my word sent you to your death, I can never live with myself. I am no stranger to peril. Is that so? Perhaps it's your turn to tell a tale then. What manner of dangers have you faced? Oh, which one would you like to know about, sir? 1 hour later. Stop! Stop! Enough! How can any one being stand all this? No. The very edge of existence? From anyone else, I'd struggle to believe it, but I recognize you now. You're the hero of the final days. A drink. I need another drink to settle my nerves. Melil, more of the same if you please. Yeah. As you wish. But this one is on your coin, Professor. Yeah, well, you're finding about horrible cosmic entities that mean to destroy the universe would probably drive many people to drink, so... pardon me a second, take my sweater off, folks. It's a bit warm right now, under the kotatsu. Jalheen drains yet another cup dry.
Oh dear. Wow. I feel bad for him.
God. Anyway, you being who you are, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to share a little more.
Oh dear.
This friend of Azama's, he was desperate to buy a treasure map. One was showed away to the entrance of the vault. Seems he could only get it from some merchant. What's his name?
Wow.
But I forget. Let's drink a toast to you, my new best friend. Melil, more drinks.
Oh, wow. He's gotten drunk.
Signal for water instead.
Stop yelling. Second, if you want to watch, go out there.
He got drunk.
I like the wink. The winking is very cute. I like it. Your drink, sir. Ah, marvelous. I am parched.
I won't take what you get. What about you? Wow.
Jalheen gulps down the cup of water. That was water. Did you try to bring me water? Still, that's probably for the best. Very kind of you, really. My head will certainly thank you in the morning. I seem to have overindulged. I am put in mind of the words of Master Jalzhan. Beware how much of the drink you swallow, lest it swallow you. Forgive me. I also object to no more of these unseemly antics. If you want to speak of Azama, well, as I said, we share a taste of the Mayhane's fine rare spirits. You probably came in as we were talking. I wish you fortune in finding your fortune. You appear to have learned all that Jalheen has to share regarding the undersea vault. To find out more, you will need to locate a man by the name of Azama. And also, all I can do with the name of Azama is just think of Azama Dio.
That was too hard.
Yeah, his name is I'm tired. Hello. You with the name right over your head there. Must be the guy. Actually, you still not here yet, bro? You're out.
Oh,
Alright.
this is a ball.
This is a bar, Christopher. People drink alcohol. Alcohol can make people drunk. When you're drunk, you have less control of your body, including your mouth. Drinking is fine when you're old enough, but always be careful. Yes, I am Azuma. And who might you be? All true, I'm afraid. My friend took a ship out in search of Alzadal's legacy, and I've been watching for his sales ever since. I tried to dissuade him, of course, but he refused to listen. All he could talk about was finding that vault. And that look in his eyes. I knew it wasn't common gold or jewels he lusted after. He was hunting Alzadal III's otherworldly hoard, and his ambition would not be denied. I'd see in you, too, that appetite for the mysterious and the unknown. But I'll not attempt to turn you from your path. I know too well the futility of that endeavor. So I'll tell you what my friend told me. How he convinced a merchant in the bazaar to give him the rough location of the vault's entrance. It seems this merchant, one Zashal, I believe, is selling a map which shows the exact route. But my friend's purse was too light for its exorbitant price. With what meager wealth he had, he instead paid to learn that there are ruins on a small island somewhere in the Bounty. And within those ruins hides the path to the vault deep below. If you truly intend on seeking Alzadal's treasure, I suggest you put your affairs in order. I wish things were different, but I do not believe my friend is ever coming home.
I feel bad for him.
That's unfortunate, yeah. Well, that's what happens if you go searching for treasure and stuff and you don't have proof of where it is and stuff. And even if you do, there are always obstacles and stuff that might cause problems. And there's something going on here. Uh-huh. I wonder if it's a fake map. What's going on? Like a kid? The treasure map's not going to help you. What are you going to do? Swim out there? Okay. I was gonna say he looks like Billy Idol to me. It's a great. Oh man, I can't remember the lyrics to White Wedding. It's a nice. Was it? It's a nice day for. Oh God, it's been so long since I've heard that song. But yeah, he looks like this NPC looks like Billy Idol. It's kind of funny.
Only basic clothes.
Thanks, Doc. Take care, and I'll talk to you later, man. Alright, this guy's not very nice. Where did you let the kid down easy, dude? Come on. It's Billy Idol with a kind of annoying voice, though. Is it real? It's gotta be fake.
I think I agree.
Uh-huh. That could all still just be a swindle.
Yeah, a scam.
Yep. Same thing. Means the same thing, Christopher. Swindle someone is to scam someone. There's the term swindler. Same as scam artist.
I ain't believing that. Oh, your tail just fell for it, though.
So, no. Well, maybe. I don't know. But when someone says, I have a plan or I have a map or something that will make us all that can make you super rich.
The lion.
Well, not necessarily, but the first question you should always ask is, well, why aren't you using it?
Yeah. Why aren't you super rich then?
Yeah, why don't, if you have an idea to make something that will make the person who buys the idea off you super rich, why aren't you doing it? And if the answer is, well, I don't have the money to make it work, then you know they are lying. That is the oldest scam in the book, other than I have a bridge to sell you.
I think I have a bridge to sell you as younger.
Very possibly.
I mean, I think the bridge was the idea in the first place.
Probably, honestly. Any case,
So maybe they're the same idea.
maybe.
どのみちお前のようなガキじゃ宝にたどり着く前に死ぬのがオチだがな。
Oh, okay. This is even worse. The kid is in on it with him. That was the worst acting I've ever heard in my entire life. They don't. It's not written in English because they don't have him stutter there, but in the Japanese he goes Kuso. I'm like, wow. Okay, that was the most overwrought. Curse you! Yeah, no. Thank you, Cinema Cam, for showing us his face, looking all shifty underneath his long hair. That's great. And like everyone's like, about this. Oh, there's Estinian. Hey, buddy. Estinian does not look pleased.
Yeah, he like angry.
He doesn't look angry. He just looks like annoyed. Estinian always looks annoyed though.
どうだいだな。アルザダール三世が残したお宝に興味はないかい？
Oh, he's going after Estinian?
Uh-oh.
Really?
He is so very dead.
Not necessarily Chris.
But he probably got a black eye.
First of
Pocky does all.
all, don't have to yell. I'm right here.
Yeah.
Camera's pretty strong. 2, we only kill monsters. Okay?
Yeah, what I meant when I said he was dead is that he was in for a lot of pain.
Well, maybe. We'll probably just throw him in jail. We're not going to beat him up. You know? We don't... Force is always the last resort, okay?
Not always.
His 9,800 guild tie. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh, God, you were my... Oh, my God, you're right. Oh, no. Oh, no, I forgot. That's right. So, Estinian, our dragoon, is many things. Money smart is not one of them. Cryptomancer just reminded me that he bought a hair tie for 9,800 gil. And since the game kind of makes the assumption of 1 gil to 1 yen, that's one expensive hair tie. Yeah, notoriously bad with money is the quote from Tataru. However, he doesn't currently have access to the Scion's bank account. So I'm pretty sure the Scions are temporarily kind of on their own. Like I think we all got like a in game, as it were, fictionally speaking, we got like a little bag of money to keep us alive for a while until we kind of finish our individual missions. But Estinian's the kind of guy who'd be like, this apple is delicious. How much was it? 500 yen. Oh. Okay, that sounds fair.
You know what?
Yes?
500 yen is about what apples cost around here.
Okay, 5,000 yen.
That's probably a little bit more.
He'd still be like, okay. Please, Estinian. Estinian, for the love of all that's holy, please make your wisdom check. Please make your wisdom check.
Get your reality check. 2.
No, that's your whole purse of money, dude. No. Well, we don't know yet. He might just be taking pity on the kid too, but
And wanting to solve this mystery.
I don't think it's a critical fail, but I do think it's a fail.
Besides, if it's a lie. Good look.
Can we please step in and stop this? Can I let me stop this. Come on. No, oh god.
What?
Nope, too late. He bought it. Hey, partner.
Or maybe he meant to do that because he wants to solve this mystery.
Maybe. We'll find out in a second, Christopher, okay? Remember, don't push your opinions on people until, okay?
I'm just giving you...
I know. It's one thing that you can say it, but you don't. If you keep, when you keep saying it, Chris, it goes from being an opinion to your insisting that what you're saying is what's right. Okay?
Why are you in basic condenser clothes?
Because we're no longer trying to fight to save the world. We saved the world. The world has been saved. Everyone's relaxing. Even he's relaxing. He's not wearing his armor.
Chilling out, relaxing, maxing all cool. Playing some beats.
Yeah, I'm here to stop you from spending all your money, but I'm too late. I mean, admittedly, you know,
it could be a scam. Or it could be.
The map is.
But it could also be a legitimate.
The map is almost certainly a scam. The vault being there is probably true, but this map is not going to help us. But
or maybe it's a scam, but he made it by hand, and it's unintentionally recorded. Wow.
Maybe. I see. Okay. Oh, Estinian. I'll be. Can I please pull my sword on this dude? I don't want to cut him. I just want to keep him from walking out so I can get my friend's money back. Oh god. My character's gonna be paying for his meals for a while, probably.
Oh dear.
Oh dear indeed. Oh. And dude realizes that he just scammed one of the heroes of the end of the world. That's lovely. Yep. The kid did not know what we just did, so the kid's gonna feel guilty.
That's actually a map. At least part of one.
Okay, at least Estinian's like, okay, this might not be real. So hopefully that wasn't all of his money then. And yeah, Kristen's, yeah, I have the feeling we're gonna have to save the kid. You seem to be getting away. 5 minutes, Christopher, okay? Then it's bedtime. It's already 10 o'clock. Estinian, such a good dude. Yeah, he doesn't care about money.
困窮したアナミガ市民のため大量の黄金とやらを持ち帰ってきたお前たちのようにな。
Okay, that is a great callback. That's a freaking great callback. Okay. Alright, yeah, bastard, you got me. I'm in.
いつだってかアルピノのやつから聞いたのさ。お前との冒険談な。
I was gonna say that's before we met you though. So, hey, Aitsukime. I was waiting for you to come on before I went back to the quest that you asked me to start last week. So he's just like, you.
それはそうと、さっき商人に泣きついていたガキがいただろう。おそらく奴と商人はグルだ。
Oh, nice, nice. Speaking of which, next time I see you, I need to bring my coasters to see if I have any that you want for your collection. But, do they have a new White Day map, out of curiosity? Meanwhile, hooray, Estinian did make his wisdom roll, but he was playing along. Good going, Estinian.
通行人の関心を引いてさも価値がある地図だと思わせる
Ooh,
三文書を持っていた
Detective Estian, and he's in.
Nice. So Estinian did know the kid was actually part of the Act 2, Chris.
He's going full detective.
Do you realize how many... That's 50 dishes, dude. That's 50 items.
We're gonna be paying for him, he'll swap it.
I actually was helping my friend Jordan get points for his wife's... she wants one of them too. But for the mat, maybe. I'll have to see what it looks like. Christopher, you know when you're on stream, you cannot stim that loud. Okay? I got Crescent's the Valentine's one, so... But yeah, I got some of the coasters and stuff like that. Well, you know, she can hand it to me, and I'll hold on to it for you, dude, so... But Crescent's, what we can do is, I'll start a card, and then, like... Yeah, we'll work on that over time. It's just that...
I like the whole Detective Estinian thing. You know what I don't know?
What, Christopher?
Do you think Ryan is gonna turn the whole Detective Estinian thing into a meme?
Probably not.
It would be a nice meme though.
But,
It won't mind me.
well, this is
He's
not...
not as dumb.
This is not a FF14 one. I did get the Grand Blue Fantasy stone picture here. They're very nice.
Very well done.
Yeah. But like, yeah.
And
I believe the points transfer for the points are for all of the shops too. So,
the lines on the back are carved in the same direction.
yeah, I'm not sure if the oh no. Well, next time I go, assuming I'm not going with someone who wants to get their own card points or start a new card, because that's the thing. Every time I go,
Where did you leave
I've
that
got-
question?
he left it at the card shop somewhere in Tokyo, Christopher. Probably at the hotel. So,
Tisk. Hopefully it's a lost and found.
well, if it was Christopher, his name is not on it, so we don't. There's no way to get it, Chris. Okay,
Never mind.
and it's bedtime. I love you, but it's bedtime. Okay, tell everyone good night.
Oh, wait, can
Night, everyone.
Chris, can you come put this book back on the shelf,
Okay,
please?
get the manga, put it on the shelf, and then go to bed. Okay, turn off the kitchen lights, please.
Thank you, darling.
But yeah, no, we can comp out about this later, Crescents. I don't mind like, excuse me, getting points for you. So, Detective Estinian, nice.
だが幼い妹を養わなきゃならんと言った時の顔は本音を映しているように見えた。売り上げのいくらがあのガキの分け前になるのかは知らんが、多少なりとも生活の助けにはなるだろうさ。地図の心眼はともかく。
I admittedly only go to the cafe really when friends from out of town want to go, which is also why whenever I've gone, I've never gotten a card because I go with people who want the card for themselves. So, you know. But I had to have the Grand Blue Fantasy card, so it works out for me.
Eh? お前も行くんだろ、相棒。冒険者相手に聞くまでもなかったな。
Well, if you decide to come to Japan, man, let me know.
さて、まずは船の調達行こう。
And there's the kid. Alright, before I continue this, however, since Aitsuki Hime is here, let's go take care of that quest that we started last week. Where are you? Old Charlian. Oh wait, no, I went to the... Let's see here, I was... Doesn't let me teleport down, so... where you are. There you are. What I need to do is try to do like a roulette a night for the next week or two, so I can the other role quests, 'cause I do want to get those done. I also still need to finish Eden. Let's see, tomorrow night... Honey? Other than buying Chris's jacket for the graduation, we're not doing anything else tomorrow, correct?
I mean, errands, Saturday stuff,
And then Sunday I'm just streaming as per usual, right?
as far as I know.
Alright. Yeah, Aitsuki Hime beat me to the punch. So I will put this on the server, but let's tentatively plan 11-ish local, 10 a.m.-ish Saturday morning for folks in the East Coast. Eden, last third Eden runs, so I can get those done. That's good, man. So yeah, there we go. Here you are. And actually, since we're doing this, Oh, I can't change my glamour plates here. That's funny. It would be 11 p.m. here. 11 p.m. here, so 10 a.m. East Coast. Now that daylight savings is kicked in. Pretty sure. Hold on a second here. Choitomachi. Yeah, we're back to 1 hour difference. Well, 13-hour difference, I should say. So it would be 11 o'clock here, and so 10 o'clock starting your guys' time. And actually, Crescents, if you haven't done the Eden raids, you can join us. And I don't mind doing the other. Yeah, 7 a.m. PST, 10 a.m. Yeah, you forgot to flip. It's okay. I've gotten so used to doing this because I call my mom every week, so in my brain I just. But yeah, I'll ping our server about it too. But yeah, if we end up doing the others as well, I'm okay with that. You know, as long as I get to do the final 4 of them. In any case, here we go. Ah, there you are. This is where we were told. This is where we're to meet the engineers from Garland Ironworks, who, I am told, potentially hold the key to unlocking your mystery transmission. They should be along at any moment. $10 times each. Oh my, okay. I should look at the rewards again. Sorry we're late. We had some trouble finding the right... God, is that you, Celessa? Yes, the woman herself. I ran to her at the harbor and thought if anyone deserved to hear this message deciphered, it was Celeste Storm Shield. No argument here, but bugger me if you don't have a knack for being in the right place at the right time. This actually has more to do with you than you might think, so please, do stick around. Should we pick up from where we left off then? As I was saying, we think this transmission of the Ragnarok intercepted is a message of some kind, albeit in a language entirely alien to our ears. Alien being the operative word here, considering we received the message out in the great expanse. Its origin was likely some distant star. Unfortunately, our list of off-world allies is presently rather short. Thus, we were resigned to the fact that the meaning behind the message would remain beyond our understanding. One of my colleagues, however, refused to give up. She remembered the Ironworks engineers who had been so helpful in the construction of the Ragnarok, and turned to them for insight into our seemingly impossible problem. Did you know what Wedge said when he heard what was going on? We should have Omega listen to it. I bet he can tell us what the message means. Great impression there, Biggs. Not the Omega you beat in the Rift, of course. He's talking about the toy that travels around with Alpha, the little model we made. We originally designed it to follow a chosen target and not much else, but I've seen it act in ways that, well, it's like it has a mind of its own. Then I got to thinking about those documents your lot sent to the Chief. The full report on the final days. In the part about Omega civilization, it said their people discovered how to convert the mind into data and store it outside the body. Timing being what it was, I wonder if Omega didn't somehow transfer its consciousness into our model right before you put an end to the real one. Speaking of which. So, in an effort to get to the bottom of that, as well as take a crack at this indecipherable message, we decided to make some modifications. With help from Labyrinthos technicians, we've upgraded our toy Omega with a fully functional vocalization module. Oh no! This is gonna be funny. We played the transmission for Omega, and I think it's ready to share. Are you in there, Omega? Affirmative. If by Omega you were referring to my consciousness, rather than my entire former chassis, existing inside this considerably smaller frame. Prediction. You will formulate several misconceptions. These I shall preemptively dismiss based on the following facts. 1. Vocalization module aside, this chassis remains unmodified from the design constructed by the engineers Biggs and Wedge. I evaluate its combat capabilities to be on par with a mortal infant. 2. The mechanism which allowed me to perform an emergency transfer of my consciousness was installed in my previous body. With the destruction of that body, I am rendered incapable of replicating such a feat. Should this current material form be destroyed or cease to function, all cognitive awareness or presence I possess will also be lost. Conclusion. I present no threat to you, or your star, nor do my projections indicate the necessity to inflict harm. I think that's... I remember him having a deeper voice, but no, I could be wrong. It's been a while. In the fraction of a moment before my initiation... Before my annihilation... In the fraction of a moment before my annihilation in the rift, I re-examined my directives. If I am to fulfill my purpose as an evolving construct, then I must continue my journey for an improvement for as long as I exist. I must acquire this heart of yours, this strength of soul. Well, there you have it. It's not wrong about its combat capabilities. It'd be more likely to damage itself than the thing I was trying to attack. But let's not forget the reason we brought you here in the first place. What about that transmission they played for you? Could you recognize the language? Affirmative. It was transmitted in Pan-Galactic Basic. Well, Crescent, like I said, if you want to join us for the Eden stuff, we finished the Omega stuff, I think, didn't we? In any case, if we start at 11 here, I can probably play till like 1 or 2, so I think 2 to 3 hours worth of raid time. So... Pan-Galactic Basic? A common language in comparatively extensive usage throughout the worlds we have conquered. Which means you can finally tell us what the message said. That is a language you understand, yes? I understand it perfectly. I am fluent in over 6 million distinct dialectical codings. Blip. Alright, C3P Omega. The quests I can, burn through pretty quickly since I won't be reading out loud to people, so... My cooperation in this matter, however, is conditional. Elaboration. Your Chief Sid utilizes the floor as part of his unorthodox filing system, which allowed me to scan the report on the final days. I am aware that my home star, the one that you call Alphatron, was obliterated in the aftermath of Sir and Meteon's meeting. The existence of Dynamis has not previously factored into my projections, but I now comprehend the concept. In theory. What fails to compute is why the Omicrons were not immune to its effects. Dynamis should have no influence on a race which possesses no heart. And yet, Sir expressed to Meteon a desire to cease existing. Illogical. I must pursue this anomaly further, until the full equation becomes clear to me. I must analyze all the elements of the final days, and deepen my understanding of the heart's intangible properties. To expedite this process, I require an external interpretation of those sections of the report which will continue to produce errors in my calculations. I request the assistance of Celesta Stormshield. As one who experienced the ravages of ultimate despair on multiple fronts... Yeah, no kidding. And displayed immeasurable heart in engineering my defeat, she is the optimal choice to fulfill this role. So we either agree to your conditions, or you tell us nothing. I'm sorry to put you in a spot like this, Celesta. If you have the time, and the patience to spare, we'd all be grateful if you could humor the toy's demands. No worries. There'll be a learning experience for all of us. As Alpha dozed off, I suppose the subject was a bit technical. Bloop. Rouse yourself, Alpha. You must listen to and consider these matters, even as I must. Why don't you make a trip out of it? You know, actually visit the places that has the things Omega wants to talk about. It'll make explaining stuff easier for one, and also help keep Alpha awake and alert. Road trip! What a remarkable development. Biggs and Wedge told me much of your encounter with Omega before we began. And now that we have the Omicron's weapon talking, there are so many questions I am simply dying to ask. Back when we were first exploring our options, we actually did consider planes of transmission to the inhabitants of Ultima Thule. The problem is, we will be dealing with the beings recreated through Dynamis. Their communication is based on emotional energy, and anything lacking that vital component would likely fail to register. That rules out a recorded message. And so we were focused on the resources we had to hand, never dreaming that the solution would all but fall into our lap. Omega has been an outright terror to us in the past, but it's almost strange how little it frightens me now. It helps that it's trapped inside that tiny model, of course, and that it follows Alpha around like a puppy. But most of all, I remember the Chief telling me how much it sounded like a lost child there at the end. I bet the Chief won't see this one coming. Once he gets over the shock, though, I don't think he wants to destroy Omega. Nero, on the other hand, he'll want to use the model for some dangerous experiment. In fact, maybe we should put off making a report for now. Quack! 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 Alright, here we go. I see you've chosen the mutually beneficial option. Logical. Setting aside the matter of Sir, there are three elements of the report on which I desire clarification. The first of these concerns the progression of the final days in Radzat Han. I recognize no pattern in those who succumbed to the transformation, and those who did not. That's a bit of a trek if you wanted to chat with the locals. How about we lend you an airship? We do not require such outmoded technology. Celesta's teleportation spell is the most efficient option for long-distance travel. This chassis is a model, essentially a toy, and Alpha, despite his organic composition, is indistinguishable from a stuffed doll. Conclusion: we qualify as material possessions. Pick us up, and you can teleport the three of us to our destination. Alright, here we go. Such a polite chocobo. Quack! Grab us and let's go on an adventure. Let's go on an adventure. Let's go on an adventure. Let's go on an adventure and find a snack. No, wait. Doesn't quite work. Alright, here we are, Radzat Han. Quack! Quack! Bloop. Sensors indicate that we have arrived in Radzat Han. Objective: identify factors for resistance to involuntary transformation. Hypothesis: unaltered survivors of the final days will display significant strength of heart. Confirming this theory will require the cooperation of live subjects. Where is the ward designated for residential habitation? Understood. Comma set as our sub-designation. Please take the lead and select the subjects we are to interview. Alright. And now that we're actually in place, back to this outfit. So we'll skip that, because that's the... Okay, we have to go up the stairs and over. Quack, 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 quack. Alpha chirps enthusiastically. I'm fairly unfazed by the prospect of climbing the stairs. Warning. Please avoid stairs whenever possible. My projections indicate high risk probability for accidental slippage, leading to catastrophic structural damage. Stepped inclines also increase my energy consumption by 63%. In mortal terms, they tire me out. Taking into account the difference in individual limb strength, the design is inherently flawed. A convenient step height for one is an exhausting trial for another. Were I to oversee the civic design of this settlement, I would construct a sloped conveyor belt which enabled automatic traversal. 0 personal energy expenditure. But we have to go that way, don't we? Yeah, we kind of do. Sorry, dude. Thankfully, he's managing it fine, but still. Is there another way? Oh, they do now. Okay, so... Well... Whoops. Here we are in Kama. Melancholy man. Hmm? Are you a traveler? Please, if you have a moment, I could use an outsider's perspective. Oh, that's right. There's an event right now with the Little Ladies' Day and Easter. I should check out the prices for that. You see, I was one of those who sought to escape the madness plaguing the world by fleeing to the moon. Not that we ever went in the end. So here I am, recently returned from Charlian. Except now things are strained between my sister and I, since she chose to stay and I chose to leave. I asked her to help me find work, and she suggests I look, quote, somewhere that isn't Thavnair, end quote. As if I wanted to abandon my home. It makes me so angry. Oh wow, dude, congratulations. I don't think I'm ever gonna try those. Bloop. Your point is unclear. You elected to relocate to the star satellite, thus your relative now perceives you in a negative light? Your sibling's judgment is an error. Based on the information made available to Hanish citizens, your decision to withdraw to the moon was both logical and correct. Conversely, the decision to remain at Razan Han, despite the low probability of survival, defies explanation. Perhaps her reasoning pathways are faulty. That's right! I'm not quite sure what you're saying, but I'm right, aren't I? Or so I like to think. The problem is, I understand why my sister feels this way. I almost decided against going myself. Even then, I wasn't sure that leaving behind everything I loved was the right choice. And with the way it all turned out, You wanted to flee? That was the right decision. Oh, hello again. You're the one who came in to ask me questions about Kalzal. I'm glad to see you looking well after all that unpleasantness. I remember the burning skies and hearing the screams, but truth be told, I'm still confused as to what actually happened. I only know it wasn't unusual for entire families to go missing. Many of my neighbors' houses lie empty even now. Kalzal's place is one of them. He had no close relatives to speak of, and I heard that it was members of the consortium who came to remove his belongings. What a terrible thing to have to do. Terrible? Kalzal's passing was recorded in the report. Clearing out his domicile and readying it for new habitation seems an appropriate reallocation of resources. Dear me, what a clever little contraption. But of course I'm not against making use of his quarters. That would be wasteful. It's simply that Kalzal was always such a vigorous person. All that passion, all those dreams, suddenly gone. I feel the same sorrow for everyone who was lost. Seeing the remnants of those vibrant lives packed away in boxes. That is what I mean by terrible. Hey, don't I know you? Yes! After the beasts were taken care of, you told me to join everyone in the square. Thanks to you, I was there when Bertrand gave his speech, and I found out who Varshan really was. It's a shame we don't get to play like we used to, but Mama says Bertrand has been busy putting the city back in order. Maybe I can work for him someday, when I'm a man grown. Bertrand. Midsummer's offspring, yes? And this child wishes to put himself at the worm's command? Then he might make his own contribution to society. But at the worm's command, a pattern emerges. I predict that the Hanish survivors are those who had ingested Nature's blood and become his draconic minions. Though dragons were no match for our civilization's might, their combat capabilities are not to be underestimated. It is unlikely they will experience emotions of dread or uncertainty as exhibited by lesser beings in times of undue stress. Dragons? I'm not a dragon. And I never ingested anyone's blood either. Ew. You are not a virtuous horde? So you possess no hidden means to fight off the beasts. What of fear, then? You were frightened? Yes, I was frightened. Yes, I was frightened. I just hid and hoped they wouldn't find me. At least until they told me it was safe to come out. Celessa, I require a moment to process this input. Let us move apart and discuss our findings. Blip. Processing data. Evaluate hypothesis against accumulated evidence. I offer an optimal analysis of each subject's testimony. Yet each time their responses conflicted with my assessment. Without identifying the root cause of this conflict, I will be unable to properly define what constitutes strength of heart. Acknowledge. A larger sample size will increase the probability of discovering an underlying pattern. Next, I wish to interact with an individual who endured similar circumstances to Kalzal prior to his transformation. Are you acquainted with any local merchants who had dealings with him? Blip. Jinabaha of Rudia Fibers? Acknowledged. Sub-destination set. Over here. Excuse me. Kugane Tower is one I don't think is another one I don't think I'll ever do. I think my friend Chris actually did it recently, like not recently, but like a while ago. Someone I know did it recently, and I'm just like amazed that they were able to do it. So that would be funny. Quick. Owl looks back and forth between Omega and the Hamsa, showing visible concern. I wonder why. Halt, Celessa. Do not proceed beyond the fence. In this body, birds of that side represent lethal, unthinking threats. They will pick my casing apart, searching for meat that does not exist. Conversely, Alva can correctly identify my absence of nutritional content. If only he would apply that intelligence towards maintaining a regular feeding schedule. Poor habits adversely affect his mobility. Aww. In other words, I wish he would eat more regular meals because it's making him tired. Alright, here we are. How's it going, dude? Well, look who it is. I must thank you again for your help in moving our textiles. Recovering from those tragic events has been difficult, of course, but with everyone pulling together, we've managed to get things back up and running. Jinabaha, I come with questions related to that tragedy, specifically your survival of the final days. Although you were similar to Kalzal in many respects, he succumbed to the transformation and you did not. Why? What is the critical difference between you and him? What? I'm sure I don't know. I'm not especially brave or courageous, if that's what you're asking. Perhaps being focused on protecting our workshops kept me from spinning into a panic. Still, I imagine Kalzal would have been feeling that same sense of responsibility. Perhaps the weight of it all was what invited his demise. You were of the same mind, resolved to the same purpose. Yet your strength of spirit was not equal. If merely emulating an individual is insufficient, then some other unseen factor must be involved. Not to interrupt these deep philosophical musings, but do you think I could ask you a small favor? There's a man by the name of Nashvan who's been helping us out here while we get back on his feet. I have a feeling he'd benefit from speaking with you. Leave by the eastern exit. You should find him just outside, organizing some new inventory items. A side quest to the side quest. Ta-da! Alright. Quay! Alpha puffs his chest out proudly, seeming to imply that his Ironworks uniform is the best attire anyone could wear. The equipment being manufactured here, it is worn to perform specific duties, yes? Conceptually, it seems analogous to our practice of switching frames to better serve our mission objectives. I, for example, did not begin existence with the Omega model. I was originally supplied with a standard-issued Omicron chassis, serial number M-017. On this world, that alphanumeric combination would be considered my given name. Since such designations are drawn from our nearly infinite register of celestial bodies, to avoid the possibility of duplication. Furthermore, the cluster known as M-017 is better expressed in your language as the Omega Nebula, the same word I used to introduce myself to your kind. Though you associate Omega with the advanced weapon construct, it is also my name, and I see no reason to change it for no matter what frame I inhabit. Interesting. Oops.
Is that a rubber duck following you?
Chocobo.
Uh-huh. He's got a little rubber duck following you.
Oh wow, it's the end of the it's the end of the quest. Here we go. All right.
But you're gonna be Omega boss.
Yes, it is Christopher.
How are you? Oh.
That's all our orders accounted for, and everything looks to be of good quality. Kamala will be pleased. You were with the Scions. You were there. Yes, I'm sure of it. I'll never forget that day. You and your friends helped us escape when people began changing the beasts.
Bad Chris. Bad baby.
My own son, he was afflicted.
Grace,
Then that huge monstrosity loomed right over him, and
keep your body. Scoot. Scoot. Go. Go to bed.
I remember my heart turned to ice, freezing in place. The satrap came to my aid, but then he, too, was gone.
Maybe some tomorrow, but right now you go to bed. Grace, scoot. Come on, scoot. Yeah, it's a big white screen. Off you go.
The memories run together in my mind, like flashes from a nightmare. Only the words of your comrades still ring clear. I repeated them over and over like a mantra as I fled for my life. You must run, for their sake and for your own. It all seemed so surreal, which was probably what saved me from the transformation. The truth of it didn't begin to sink in until the worst of it was over. I have not the words to describe how I felt then. The sorrow, the overwhelming sense of helplessness. I may still be wallowing in misery if not for my old friend, Jinabaha. I'd lost my will to work, and he encouraged me with kind words and odd jobs. Now, somehow, I live again. I am thankful to him, to the courageous Ahawan, and to you. If you see your comrades, please let them know that their efforts were not in vain. You said you lost your will to work. This signifies a cessation of efforts to maintain basic life functions, yes? What changed to distract you from this stagnation? An offer of work from Jinabaha should mean little to one without desire to accept it. Was it some manner of mortal instinct? A primal need to survive and thrive? Instinct? No, it wasn't that. If anything, my instincts were telling me to lay down and welcome an end to the pain. Every day I think of my boy's final moments. I think of how scared he must have been, how it must have hurt, and I want to scream my throat raw. The satrap, too, still haunts my dreams. I see him being swallowed whole, and jolt awake in a cold sweat. But something changed when Jinabaha came to me. I looked up and saw that, even without my son or Alawan, the world around me continued to turn. And because that fact grieved me so, I knew it fell to me to live on and remember them. Strange, isn't it? What drives me to rise in the morning is the very sorrow which once crippled me. Now, I really must return to my work. To lose this job after everything I just said would be poor jest indeed. May the sisters keep you well. Que? Sorrow. The emotion generated by mortals when their ideals fail to materialize. This I have observed. Yet when I listen to how Nashavan sorrow served to rescue him from near fatal despondency, his logic eludes me. Am I incapable of perceiving the full measure of the heart's properties? My best projections fail to predict our subject's responses. And despite their almost equal occupational mental parameters, Jinabaha and Kalzal exhibited different reactions to the dynamis effect. I am no closer to recognizing the pattern for involuntary transformations, and your ephemeral moral spirits confound me as much, if not more, than they did before. No. Pattern? You imply that the transformation was not contingent on individual fortitude, but rather a random contribution of environmental factors? Such a theory would explain the otherwise conflicting data. Very well. I shall accept this as a provisional conclusion to this part of my investigation. I do, however, expect you to continue supplementing my education of heart-related matters. Okay, sure. Thank you, Alpha. I was gonna say, where are they? No, there they are. Quack. Alright. Goodbye, Emilia? Our next destination will be Camp Broken Glass. I desire elaboration on the dealings between the Ilsabar contingent and the citizens of Garlemald. The report describes the contingent's purpose as the salvation of the local populace. Furthermore, both factions face a common enemy in the Telephoroi. Why do they not immediately combine forces to the mutual benefit? This inconsistency requires closer examination. Celesta, initiate teleportation. Yes, sir! And it's raining. Quick! Poor cold Chocobo. Teleportation successful. Evaluating immediate environs. A cold weather region by Aetherist standards, but significantly less extreme than a star with ice planet classification. This body should not be unduly impeded. In contrast to Alpha and his uncontrollable shivering, my frame appears highly resistant to low temperatures. Retrieving data. Records indicate that remnants of the contingent force and a number of Imperial citizens yet inhabit this location. We must speak with representatives from both factions and explore their respective attitudes. Blip. Proceed. Okay. Celesta? Come to see how things are progressing, have you? I can't speak for their overall strategy, but communication with the locals has become a damn sight easier since Julius and the soldiers stepped in to help. Oh, we still face our fair share of distrust, of course. Some folk even think we're enslaving minds with our foreign magics. We have Anima to thank for putting that idea in their heads. But all things considered, I'd say we're doing pretty well. Establishing an open dialogue was the first big step. Query: you consider this level of progress acceptable? The reality of your effort falls far short of the ideal. If your aim is to provide efficient succor to the local populace, then absorbing their numbers into your command structure would be the optimal path. Oh, I wouldn't want to go that far. We're not looking to take over their nation. If we're to do this the right way, we need to recognize and respect each other's way of life. So while it may not be the easiest solution, I agree with the contingent's slow and steady approach. I'm just happy we're saving lives. Excuse me.
Good night, children.
Hey, honey. That's not... Well, that is a door, but it's not the right door. Emaciated refugee. Huh? A shadow from the past? Yes. I know you from Victor's spoils. Have you come to laugh at me? A wretch who chose to lose Licinia and her sister rather than accept your help? The fool who ended up relying upon your charity nonetheless? Well, perhaps I deserve your derision. My compatriots surely scorn my failed conviction. I have shamed my people and brought dishonor upon my nation. I am no better than a kept beast, my pride sold for a bowl of feed. But my soul, nay, that you shall not have. I refused your honeyed offer of a new home. This land is where I belong, and this is where I shall remain. Bloop. You demonstrate opposition to the continuous overtures. On what basis do you refuse his cooperation? The data suggests the local population is struggling to produce the bare minimum of sustenance. Have you some secret strategy for survival? Or do your orders compel you to accept your present misfortune? What? Must I be mocked by a Magitech toy now? No, I have no secret strategy. No binding orders. I but comport myself as any true Garlean patriot would. Uncompromising. Unbending. Blast it all. Once again, this input is unanticipated. Let us move aside and process what we have learned. This hits way too close to reality for me. Like, just the whole, I don't care if you're trying to help us, F you guys, I'm gonna be me. Because that's more important than anything else. Like, that seems a little too close to reality these days.
I'd rather dive in, accept help.
Yeah. Accessing and analyzing recorded data. Integration complete. I've evaluated this most recent input and made comparisons to our discoveries in Radz-Han. Consistent only in their inconsistency. The responses from both contingent member and imperial citizen were highly irrational. Conversely, any Omicron considering their predicaments would have echoed my assessment exactly. The divergence from self-evident logic is key. Hypothesis. The illogical relationship between would-be saviors and suffering populace is another result of the unpredictable nature of mortal hearts. Yup. Bloop. Any property or ability has inherent advantages. Any property or ability has inherent advantages and disadvantages. Yet never have encountered such a unique detriment. It appears that those who share your metaphysical capabilities are prone to complicating simple cognitive processes. Yes, mortals make things that should be easy difficult. An undesirable quality. I will, however, persist in furthering my understanding of the subject. Query. Prior to formulating our next step, I wish to know, who is this Licinia the Imperial mentioned? Yeah, about that, Jesus, okay. Oh man, that... Acknowledged. To summarize, insufficient data on foreign culture resulted in inadvisable and ultimately fatal action. I witnessed such self-destructive behavior during the course of our planetary conquests. Overwhelmed enemy forces would voluntarily withdraw into perilous regions, leading to a succession of inevitable losses. Tangential data request. I wish to learn about burial customs. The practice has ever seemed nonsensical, but new data suggests it arises from the same source as your cognitive complications. Take me to this Licinia's burial site. It may aid me understand... Energy delivery systems compromised. Core temperature critically low. Bleep. Warning. Immediate heating required. Request. Apply friction to outer frame. In other words, pet him. Rub some warmth back into his frame. Quah! 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 Don't worry, we'll save Omega. Don't worry about it. Pet, 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 pet. At least it's not a mini game. That would be kind of funny. Bloop, blip. Temperature nominal. Energy level stabilizing. The creators of this model must have experienced impaired cognitive reasoning during the design process. Upon our return, I will request additional climate shielding, as well as an accurate temperature sensor array. This will not affect my combat capabilities, but should improve my basic survival rate. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Reconfirming sub-destination. In which direction will we find Victor's spoils? Blip. Acknowledged. Alpha, you are to remain in close proximity, close enough to envelop me in your feathers. You are permitted to carry me on your back if you so choose. So they decided that, all of the emotional punches you got during the actual quest chain was not enough. Here, have a side quest where we're just going to take that knife and just kind of twist it a little more, huh? Cripes. We'll say, being able to fly here makes it a little bit easier. Oh yeah, it is the Ides of March, isn't it? Right. Yeah, I do see. Thanks, Oitsuki. Quack. Bloop. A deceptively steep snowdrift almost defeated me, but we've successfully arrived at the location you indicated. Caution advised. Oh, hey. Are you... An unknown individual appears to be investigating an object of my interest. The object of my interest. Yours is champion, aren't you? Celeste Storm Shield. Oh, I never introduced myself, did I? I'm Manius, soldier of the First Legion, and comrade of Julius. Perhaps you remember me from Tertium? We spoke about collecting ceruleum, and again later on, after Lord Quintus had passed. Oh, dude, yeah. Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god. Manius. Explanation requested. What is the reason for your presence here? That must be the tiniest magic weapon I... Oh no, it's just an oddly shaped communicator, isn't it? In any case, I have nothing worthy to report. I heard that the sisters who used to live in my sector were buried here, so I thought I'd come and pay my respects. Alpha and Elise told me the story, complete with previous apologies, though they were adamant that no amount of remorse could erase the tragedy of what came to pass. Not that my fellow soldiers and I are any place to judge. We were manipulated, fooled into starting an insurrection which led to countless deaths among our own countrymen. Objection. The casualties incurred through infighting are distinct from those caused by the Ulsabar contingent. To restate, you are justified in seeking restitution from the contingent for causing the deaths of Lincia and her sister. Retaliation for damages sustained is also a logical progression. Little dude. I can deduce two reasons why you do not initiate hostilities with Celeste and her allies. 1. You judge your remaining forces too weak to contend effectively with the contingent. 2. Your emotions are complicating the issue. Tell me, which of these is correct? Well, when you lay it out like that... I'm afraid my answer isn't like to win me any medals, so would you mind keeping this to yourselves? There's the unspoken thought that we're outmatched in the battlefield, certainly. But the real reason I'm not demanding restitution has little to do with weighing the odds. The simple truth is, I'm so caught up with simple survival that I have no strength to spare for past grievances. The same goes for avenging any comrades we've lost, be that my brother in arms, or Lord Quintus himself. Although it seems everyone has an opinion about the matter of his passing. Oh my god, they're bringing the flag back. Oh my god. Oh, I actually haven't been back there. I might, after this quest bit, I might fly back there really fast to see if it's still up. Because that was... Some say he should have fought until the end. That he abandoned us to the enemy. Others praise him for taking the full burden of responsibility and freeing us to walk our own path. I don't know who's right and who's wrong, but I'm inclined to side with the latter. He gave us the choice of freedom, and that's the choice I made. I could cry and rant and rage, but what would be the point? I'll save my energy for worrying about my next meal, my next task. I need to focus on the ones left behind, on making some kind of life for my comrades and me. And if I need to lean on the contingent to do that, then that's what I'll do. Even if their aid comes at a price, I'm willing to pay it. Even amongst your own, there are times when cooperation demands compromise. What matter that they're outsiders? Besides, I think I could grow to like Alphen on Alize. They've reached out to us with kindness and compassion from the very beginning. Summation. Your desire to survive, even should it mean allying with the contingent, was a feeling you already harbored. That your side had committed worse atrocities was the logic you invented later to justify your reasoning. Blunt but accurate, I suppose. The heart is honest about what it wants, even if the mind takes a while to reconcile the decision. Well, this has been oddly cathartic, but I must return to my duties. There are wild beasts to cull, watchfires to light, supplies to transport. Even without an emperor, there's no rest for an imperial. Be well, and stay safe. In the end, I think the end needs to come to the conclusion: you mortals are weird. Blip. Upon review of recent input, I have arrived at an unexpected conclusion. I have been formulating my assessments on the premise that it was man who commanded the strength of his heart. But the data suggests the opposite is true. The surge of spirit, of feelings, of emotions can entangle your thoughts to such a degree that even control over your own behavior is compromised. It seems a most counterproductive specification. This also explains why my interactions with mortal subjects have produced more confusion than clarification. It presents a formidable barrier to understanding. This whole chunk of the quest chain was so hard. God. My earlier hypothesis has been borne out. The suboptimal preparation being conducted here is the result of emotionally compromised reasoning. I am ready to progress to my third and final query. I would learn more about those referred to as ancients. It is clear that this group was a crucial factor of the final days, but the information contained in the report was insufficient to form an overview. The Lockwards are creations of the ancients, and are said to maintain repositories of their knowledge. By my calculations, the base of these moon dwellers will provide the best source of additional data. Teleport us to their burrow, Celessa, preferably before my battery freezes over. Oh, dope. Oh, well, I'll have to go back there later. Final Fantasy IV music. Quick. I'm not sure why I keep talking to Alpha, like it's like it's suddenly just break out, why hello, thank you for talking to me, instead of just going, quack. So, you know. Bloop. Your teleportation spell was successful. We appear to have arrived at the location described as Best Ways Burrow. An inspection of the technology in use here would give me detailed insight into the ancients and their civilization. This body, however, lacks my previous frame's advanced observational functionality. I will require external assistance. Growing way, hey. No, it can't be. It is you. Oh, Celessa, I've missed you so. I've missed you so. Well, what's this you brought with you? This soft, feathery vision. We've been out fluffed. Pack up the moon. It's all over. We've been out fluffed. Oh no. Why bother with burrow building bunnies when you can walk around with this adorable avian engineer? Just bake me into a pie and be done with it. Oh my god, dramatic much, Growing Away? Inspect our inventions? Wait, so you're not done with us? No, sweetheart. That's okay, dude. Huh, I wasn't truly worried, of course. And I certainly wasn't about to roll up myself in dough and dive into Cooking Away's new oven. Ahem. If technical breakdown is what you need, then I am your Loperit. As a resident atmospheric regulation expert, I can field any question or query you might care to pose. Bloop. Acceptable. I will employ this being to guide me around the facilities. Your presence is not mandatory. Even locked within my current chassis, I am still an autonomous construct that has endured hundreds of your life cycles. I am capable of completing this simple objective alone. Alright. So it's time for Celesta and Alpha's excellent adventure now, huh? Oh, nope, off they go. Objective complete. After my 50th question, his responses began to suffer noticeable After my 50th question, his responses began to suffer noticeable delays. By that stage, we had viewed a representative cross-section of Loperit engineering. Thus, I deemed it unnecessary to retain his company. Conclusion. Extrapolating from the fraction of technology on display, the full spectrum of the ancients' advancements was, at minimum, equivalent to a level 4 civilization. A fact which demands further investigation. Despite establishing a near ideal God, Richard, slow down. Despite establishing a near ideal society, these beings nevertheless harbored a weakness which invited self-destruction. In studying them, I stand to gain a greater understanding of Sir's anomalous decision. Growing Way informed me that another type of ancient made entity exists upon the satellite, the one they call the Watcher. I would speak to him. Blip. Then conserve your ether. We will ride this Argos to our destination, as you have suggested. Time for Flying Doggy. God, being able to fly here makes things so much easier, God. Hey, puppy. Argos is pointedly ignoring the existence of Omega and Alpha. Shh. Quack. Bloop. Impedance detected. The creature identified as Argos refused to acknowledge our presence. Hypothesis. Upon our arrival, Growing expressed concern that he had been outfluffed. Oh my god. Oh, yeah, that's funny. Hypothesis. Upon our arrival, Growing expressed concern that he had been outfluffed. This suggests the existence of a fluff-based hierarchy. A fluff-based hierarchy. My station in such a system would be predictably low, but Argos is adamant in ignoring even Alpha. Its fluffiness. Its fluffy. Its fluffiness level is impossible to gauge. Argos turns to you with an impassive gaze. It seems you will need to intervene. You're the fluffiest of them all, dear Argos. Of course I am. Argos gives an exasperated snort before motioning to his back. It seems you have permission to climb aboard. Bloop. You've secured the creature's permission? Curious. Is it your fluffy tail which provides such exemplary standing in the hierarchy? I'm curious here then. I'm playing a Mikote, so yes, fluffy tail and ears. If you're playing it, one of the bunny people, I'm assuming that there's the ears too. What if you're playing a human or the other races that do not have fluffy bits? I'm curious what the dialogue is. Bleep. I have allowed myself to become distracted. Let us continue on to the Watcher at once. Fluff-based hierarchy, that's the best thing ever. This episode. Thank you, Argos. The existence of a fluff-based hierarchy, that is just too funny. You know what? Hey, merchant and mender, pillar of industry. Purchase items. Do you have water? No, you do not have water. Alright, that's fine then. Quick! Boop. The Watcher located. An estimate of this being's height explains the inconvenient scale of Bestway's burrow. Hello, sir. How have you been? I was bemused by the arrival of these small visitors, but I see they're companions of yours. What a rare thing for my abode to be thus crowded. How may I be of service to you? Hello, Watcher. My purpose here is to learn more about the ancients. I would know of their deeds, their philosophies, the very nature of their hearts. I would understand why the final days was visited upon my home star. A worthy endeavor. But there is another, better suited to assisting you with that task. Perhaps you might favor us with a tale or two of the ancients you met during your travels, Solessa. My fragmented memories would be a pale substitute indeed for the clarity of your more recent experiences. I forgot how tall they are, God. I like the Watcher. They're cool. Celeste looks so sad as she tells the story, though. Yes, I can envision every detail. Your meeting with Venat and Emek Selch and Hythlodius. The sorrow and determination of Hermes. I am a creation of Haelin, and as such, I believe the age of the ancients would fade and be forgotten. Yet knowing that their memory lives so vividly within you, it brings me great joy. I pray you keep them close to your heart. At the time of your journey to the past, the one whose essence I embody would have been a scholar at Aneder. A shame. Had you reason to go there, perhaps you might have met. As a man of learning, he was firm friends with Venat. They spent long hours trading theories, or debating the laws of the universe. I remember joining her faction as the final days bore down upon us. Yet of the events surrounding that tragedy, I recall precious little. Haelin wished for the people of your age to decide their own path. Thus I suspect my recollection was limited by design. Yet even she could not cut away one persistent memory. I feel most distinctly his sadness at what was come to pass. That in becoming Haelin's heart, Venat would forever stand apart from the people she so loved. If she were so resolved in her convictions, then he, too, would share her sleepless vigil over the future to unfold. Thus was the vow he made to Venat as their transformation took hold. His fervent wish must have reached her. His fervent wish must have reached her in some fashion, for though his life was drained away by the summoning, he was reborn with new form and new purpose when I awoke as the Watcher of the Moon. You mean the stories from Elpis Island then? Because I will totally go back and do those. And you heard, Celessa. You felt. You thought. And in seizing the future for yourselves, have you brought full circle the saga which Venat began. What you accomplished was no divine miracle. It was but the beacon of hope, passed down from one generation to the next, a succession of wishes and prayers reshaping the star into the world we knew you deserved. You have our deepest gratitude. I thank you not only as myself, but as the man I once was, and on behalf of those who devoted themselves to Venat's vision. Once this is over, I might have to go pop over to Elpis really fast to check out the names of the NPCs. Bloop, bloop. I understand the facts of your story, Celessa, but not how you have chosen to process them. On what grounds do you speak of Venat with such fineness? By sundering the world, she ultimately guided your kind to victory, yet in doing so caused irreparable damage to its individual members. The full scale of that act is beyond calculation. It is evident, however, that it resulted in the protected period of suboptimal existence for Emmett Selch and his brethren. Query. If the survival of your kind is the deciding factor in your evaluation, then should you not also admire Hermes and his decision to subject man to a trial, forcing you to change or perish, as was the fate of countless civilizations before you? From my perspective, his determination was similar to that of the Omicron's ancestors, those who first began trading flesh for machine, so that our people might stand against the onslaught of aggression from other races. It was an unprecedented attempt, accompanied by much failure and sacrifice. Their early experiments were crude, primitive. Had they not made those first advances, however, we would have remained vulnerable to our environment. The violence would have utterly consumed us. And what of Emmett Self himself? Judging by your retelling, he was a benevolent ally saddled with tragic fate. Yeah, about that. Yet I remember the years from when my instruments fed me data from events across the entire star. During that time, I witnessed his Ashians engineer multiple instances of cataclysmic strife. These calamities, as you know them, were responsible for planet-wide destruction. A man whose endgame relied upon the extinction of all modern mortals must, by definition, be your worst enemy. Yeah, he was. But it was complicated. Is complicated. I require an answer. As a being of heart and soul, how do you classify each of these pivotal figures? From your perspective, which of them was most justified in their actions? Jesus. They were all justified in their own way. As the little Omega explodes from the inability to understand this, I think I understand. You seek a definitive answer. Yet based on our experiences, Celesta and I might develop very different opinions. In the same fashion, you are free to form your own thoughts on the matter. Do not be so swift to consider them without merit. I do not have my own thoughts on the matter. I assess each situation with the same logic pathways available to every Omicron. Even if 1,000 Omicrons were asked to analyze the same event, they would all return the same result, regardless of individual experience. There is no strength to be found in fractured reasoning. Nonetheless, I found your input valuable. Recording data alongside interview results. This concludes my investigation into the incomplete elements of the final data report. I will reanalyze the accumulated information and examine the factors which led to Sir's incomprehensible decision. Blip. Let us return to Thumazane. Well, I mean, I'll finish this quest, this chain first, and then go back at some point. It's good to see you again, though, Watcher. It was pleasant to hear your tales of Elpis. Should you ever need an audience familiar with the subject, I would be glad to listen to more of your recollections. Even with one's gaze fixed upon the future, we oftentimes find our thoughts drifting to the past. 'Tis a shame that Hadelin never chose to speak of it. Alright. Okay, so we teleport back. Realized. Why am I dabbing with doing that? Can't I just yeah, just fly down and then you cannot fly further. Huh. Celesta, I wasn't sure you'd be back in time. Quick. You had a fruitful trip, I hope? I'm absolutely bursting to ask about your experiences with Omega, but I don't wish to be a pest. I will hold all my questions for now and maintain my academic decorum. Besides, it seems our engineering friends are in a hurry to leave. Oh, okay, over there on the website? Then okay, I'll have to look at those later then. Blip. That's it, just blip. Here we go. Ah, there you are, right at the last moment. Your journey with Omega was properly educational, I hope. We planned to ask you about it. We planned to ask you all about it in the mystery transmission besides, but I'm afraid something urgent has come up. Uh-oh. Seems one of our Ironworks associates has followed up a job elsewhere, and Jesse needs Wedge and me to rush in and lend a hand. There's an airship already waiting for us up in the harbor, in fact. Do you think you can escort us over there and talk as we walk? Acceptable. I am fully capable of speech during ambulation. I figured you might be. Right, let's get a move on then. Okay, cutscene time. Alright. So, you flip all those points of confusion then? I mistakenly classified your intangible heart as an ability of some kind. An uncanny power that Omicrons can neither learn nor even measure. Even now, its full nature yet eludes my comprehension. Based on investigations, however, I have decided to alter my definition. A phenomenon which influences one interpretation of reality. That is as close to an answer as I have found. Accordingly, Sir's actions upon meeting Meteon strongly indicate the presence of a heart. Sir did not follow routine logic, but formulated an independent assessment based on the reality it perceived. Sure. It felt that the best recourse for the Omicrons was to cease their expansion and terminate all functions. Well, here's our ship. Aye, we need to be going. But first I'll hold you to your bargain, Omega. It's time you told us wasn't that transmission from the flight logs. Bloop. Acknowledged. I will uphold the terms of our agreement. The recording salvaged from the Ragnarok was a simple one. The message is so basic, in fact, that the time spent listening to it may result in the net loss of value. Shall I continue? Now you're just teasing! Tell us the message already! Acknowledged. Converting dialect coding to local language. Oh, why is this song playing? No! To whomever receives this message out here in the vast reaches of the cosmos. To someone, I hope, who looks up at the stars with the same wistful gaze as mine. To you I say, forge ahead. May all of our tomorrows be blessed with joy. message had no designated recipient. It lacks purpose. The concept of joy is overly abstract. The vocal supplication to manifest said joy is unrealistic in its optimism. Yet based upon their expressions, my assessment of the transmission's value conflicts with its apparent impact. And still, I fail to understand you, sir. Your heart still confuses me. Was termination of everything the correct course? How did you arrive at this conclusion? It defies all my attempts at reasoning. But I was designed to evolve. If I continue to learn, the probability that I would eventually comprehend this phenomenon is greater than 0. So I will put the dilemma of your decision aside for now. And continue my existence upon this distant star. And I dwell among these many life forms, so will I continue to piece together the complete shape of their mortal hearts. I must document their progress. Aren't the tribal quests for Endwalker all crafting based though? Because if that's the case, I have a problem. As for how I'm feeling very melancholy, and I now have a love-hate relationship with that song. It's a beautiful song, I love it. I just hate hearing it. Any case, let's finish this quest off then. Your contribution to my education is appreciated, Celessa. Indeed, I have amassed a satisfying quantity of valuable data. Now that our negotiated business is complete, however, Alpha and I will return to traveling the world. Drawing our recent experience, I am confident we can expand the radius of our ventures by a significant margin. We need not limit ourselves to Eorzea. I am now familiar with Sharlayan and Radhan, and would like to revisit the freezing climes of Garlem. Bloop. I neglected to insert Biggs and Wedge to upgrade my climate shielding. Blip. I will reroute my request to Deputy President Jesse. Engaging ambulation and parting salutations. Farewell, Celessa. Alpha gives a vigorous shake and draws forth a scrap of paper from under its wing. Queh! It seems he wants you to have it. Perhaps this is a way of thanking you? Right. Swiftly, Alpha. The road is long, and we've barely begun our journey. Alpha and Omega. That still makes me giggle a little bit. A new chapter of new game. Oh, God. So... I got Pixies done. And that's really about it. Okay. Is that important for like side story stuff as well, or? Well. problem with Ultima Thule again is I don't know if you guys actually saw it or not, but I'm kind of low level for gonna be a while on those. I just don't like crafting and stuff. Just never been a thing for me in games, in MMOs. So I don't know. I will do two things, however. First, let me head back to Ulda and use this. Actually, what am I doing? There we go. Oh Lord. Yeah, the puzzle one I think I'll wait. Maybe I'll just ping you, I'll just screen share that one. Because it sounds like it's going to be another long one. And I don't want to spend too much time on non-MSQ things until I finish the MSQ. The post-MSQ rather, I should say. That being said, let me go ahead and I will probably take you up on that. Elpis, there you are. But yeah, like I was doing questing. I guess if I get rid of a bunch of stuff or put it somewhere. There are so many quests. Let's see, they said being able to fly is so nice here. So yeah, I mean, the problem is I've got so many other things I'm doing right now game-wise. I have to like split my time, and leveling crafting takes so long. I don't know, I get bored of it after like 5-10 minutes, honestly. Crafting and gathering. So I know there's that one zone in the Heavensward area that will help me level up some stuff relatively quickly, but daily turns for my grand company? I don't. Oh, I guess. So I guess I have to go to Gridania for that then, because that's pretty sure that's my current. Yeah, certain. Okay. Well, hold on. Let me. I see. I see, okay. Well, I'll come back here when I can, like, after I look up the name of the dude and such. See. I was just kind of flying around to see if I could spot the name that the watcher mentioned. Okay. But also, I just wanted to fly around a little bit because I can. But yeah, all right. Alright, let me go ahead and check that out really fast, because if that is something that will work. I don't have a ton of money. Like, I'm still sub-million, but where is that going? Yes, okay. So I can buy these and then go turn them in at the store, right? So well, I've turned this into the things. Let me just see what that does really fast. I have to be, I guess, the job for. I have to actually be the particular class I'm trying to level up then. Oh, I see. So this will level up blacksmith, or well, one of them. Let's see here. I'm mainly just doing this so I can see who I turn stuff into. So quartermaster, I guess it is. No, personnel officer. Holy crap. Okay. Well then. I see. Well, okay. Now that I know about this, that will make my life a little bit easier. I see. So, okay. So, back to... Once a day still, I mean... Assuming I'm not too tired after work. Naruhodo. Probably just type this in. Silex. No one is selling 10, of course. Of course. Actually, where else is that? Oh, hey, Karina's at 34 then, okay. Hey, Karina. Now I have to figure out what it looks like. Retrieve quantity 10. Hooray. I don't know if I've unlocked Fishing Voyage yet, actually, but here's the list of things I need. And my mouse decided it does not want to cooperate. I do not have any oak branches. Okay. Oh, well, okay. I just bought them, but thank you. Isn't grape juice something you can just buy from the normal store? It's not. No, I have all of the classes at this point. Past one. I have all the crafting classes, I should say. Too hard to see over there. Shop selling price 31. Okay, so grape juice, echo drops. You just can buy those really fast. Seems like a lot, maybe. No one has those. Oh, okay. Good to know. $55,000. Okay, that one I'll pay a little extra for. That's not too much. Did I look for the shit side? Actually, 1225, huh? Oh, hello. Oh, are you serious? Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I don't know how long it took me to earn the money I needed to. How? You know what? No, I'm not gonna ask. It's like, okay. Well, now that I can afford to buy some of this stuff to do this. Cool. All right, let's do this. Come on, mouse, cooperate. Would you cooperate? What'd you thank you? Was there a high quality version of these? There was not. Darn. I feel like I should start calling you Sugar Mama now. Height. One, two, three. This was one of the ones we didn't have in there. Okay, yes, okay, so we got this. We'll buy these from the store. Oh, I see, okay. Interesting. Wait. It says I have them. Where? Oh, my armory chest. No, I'm not gonna get rid of those. It is the link. Should see here. What the heck just? Suddenly I'm. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, no, I usually save them up to sell them at the Domain Archive. Where is Centel? There we go. And then okay, does not want to. That'll make it easier. Thank you. Let's try this again. Link. But yeah, I need to hit the domain. Before I go to sleep, I usually hit the domain domain enclave. Still love the stuff. So they get extra money for that, and then log out at my house. So that's the last one I need. I'm gonna go buy juice. From them, these right here, because meh, from the thing. So yeah, I'll be right back. I think it was this way. I need to buy some water anyways. So what are you? There we go. Echo drops. Need 3 of those. Oh, okay. Well then, it was echo drops, wasn't it? Should leave this up. Yes, echo drops. All right. You have water. Alright. Yeah, people often ask me why I don't sell these, why I leave one. Because eventually I get them again, and I just like having them kind of in a known location, as it were, instead of having to constantly sort and stuff. So sometimes I wonder, like, why am I bothering to hold on to the Phoenix down? Why shouldn't I just put that away? But oh well. That reminds me, do I actually have the... Thank you. Y'all too good to me. I really appreciate all of you. But since we're doing minions, I thought I had the Ishtar. Sid, Yugiri, Zloe, Graha. Hare, Niswa, Onion Knight, Kane, Palamporum. God, Palamporum. Right. I do want to work on things a bit more because eventually young Chris wants to start playing this too, and we're gonna work up to that. So yes. But yes, I appreciate your help very much. But yeah, young Chris wants to play. He wants to play a ninja, unsurprisingly. Okay, I'll do that. Thank you. Did that actually affect the turn-ins too, or just like when I actually do crafting? I always wondered about that. Like, because I know when I drink the mineral water, it only affects like okay, so actually crafting, not like turn-ins. Got it. I'm curious to see how fast my levels go up now. Alright. Personnel officer. Oh really? You're not gonna let me see the levels? There we go, thank you. Alright, so no worries. Yes, I do. That's armorer. That's a level. Okay, a level per is definitely very nice. This will be jeweler, or goldsmith. Yes. Oh, there are two culinary. Oh, Ultimate's culinary, okay. Didn't I? Well, I bought... maybe I didn't. Or did they go into my... Do. Yeah, they went to my... Huh. Alright. Weird. I thought I had that turned off, but okay. Oh, okay, well... 3 levels. Okay, wow. Okay, that's very nice. Well, this certainly does help. Ah, there you go. Thank you. There they are, right there. Okay. Do. This would be leatherworking. I'm gonna guess. Yes. Goodness gracious. Oh, I'm max rank. Okay. Ha 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 ha. Whew, well, that will certainly make things easier then. Now that I can do that, and now that I have been given an infusion of funds, thank you very much, Aliskime. I guess I'll start doing that. I guess I can do that, plus I do the pixie quests to level up. I'm doing right now to level up Machinist and Red Mage, since that only takes me about 5 minutes. Yeah, so I'll work on that. And we'll see how far I get this week. Because I can kind of like set aside like half an hour for buy all this stuff and then sell it and such. Well, it's not sell it, but turn it in. That God, I wish I had known about this sooner. I would have been doing this a lot sooner. But yeah, so now that I know I've got I think I just got the Weaver one. But in any case, I'll do those quests as well, and work on that, and then yeah, I'll start working on the tribal quests for Endwalker. And actually, who knows? That means maybe I can then do the delivery quests for the twins' mom. So yeah, I was trying to do that, and I just fell apart. So, any case, so tomorrow night, 11 p.m. here in Japan time, 10 a.m. 10 a.m. East Coast, 7 a.m. West Coast, and I said I'll ping the server tomorrow morning after this. But in any case, thank everyone for watching tonight. Hope you had a good time. Sorry I did not cry nearly as much as I usually do. But We're back next Friday with more. Actually, maybe next Friday is young Chris's. Next Friday is young Chris's graduation, so we might be out doing stuff in the evening. I'm not sure yet. Probably I'll be back by 9 p.m., but I'm not 100% sure yet. So I'll plan to be streaming next week, but we will see. In any case, I'll be back on Sunday with my console stream as per usual. Back to Tevi. Hopefully, I'll be finishing that game in a few more weeks. This is the longest Metro game I've ever played. Any case, thank you everyone. Huge thanks to Aoitsuki Hime for the crafting the items and stuff, and big thanks to Cryptomancer for letting me know about this in the first place. Man, oh man. Maybe I will get to hit 890 for all the crafting things finally. In any case, thank you for watching. Have a great night, everyone. And I will see you either Sunday or next Friday, hopefully. Good night, folks. Thank you for watching. And I will definitely put the guild to use. Thank you.